I would like to welcome to the stage a master of the ARP 2600, Anthony Marinelli. Applause, please.
Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me okay? First of all, thank you, everyone, for coming to NAMM and being here for this presentation. I want to make it fun today, and I'm here to answer questions. And also, if you want to challenge me, and even better, if you've never played an ARP 2600, I'm welcoming you to come up and I'll work with you so you can get a couple minutes on it. These are all different ways we can go. I'm here to go any way we want to go because I want it to be for you guys. It's for your enjoyment. I love the ARP 2600. I grew up with it. I was fortunate enough to pull some money together when I was about 17 years old and get an ARP 2600. I bought it from Jerry Goldsmith, who is a very successful film composer, and he had just finished Logan's Run. So he used it on that film, and I was playing organs and trying to synthesize on an organ, you know, and which is kind of like additive synthesis in the digital realm, right? Bringing up sine waves. So when I got to the 2600, I buried myself, and I really learned it and I practiced it. So I would encourage everyone who's like really trying to get better at an analog synthesizer to practice it. Whatever it is, even a plugin, you can practice it. Put a rig together. Make sure you have the right, you know, knobs and sliders, if it's virtual, and if you can get on any kind of real analogs, you know, like real life one or something, you know, that's three-dimensional, then do it and practice it because you'll learn about sound. Now, I like to break down sound in terms of 4 basic properties: pitch, timbre, duration, and amplitude. And I look at the synthesizer in that way. The oscillators are pitch, the filter is timbre, the envelope generators are duration, and amplitude is the VCA, the voltage-controlled amplifier. So the ARP 2600 lays out the sound perfectly vertically, the way I just described it, but then also, if you look at it from the bottom up, like that, those are the sounds that make the audio move around, like LFOs. So I can take a slow-moving oscillator, and anything I patch this direction makes the sound move. Anything I patch this direction is kind of what you're hearing. So that's like a basic breakdown. So who wants to come on up now and try something? Come on, let's do it. It's like a magic show, right? So, name, please. Jump into the mic.
My name is Alcee.
And we met just the other day at a talk upstairs. So, do you have experience with synthesizers?
Yeah, I don't understand them, but I have a lot of synthesizers.
What don't you understand?
The actual sliders.
Louder.
The actual sliders.
Okay, but do you understand that you like the sound of them?
Yeah.
Okay, it's important. It's the starting place. And then what do you like about them?
That I could create basically any sound that I want. So if I want something belly, I could use a DX7.
Louder.
So if I want like some bell sounds, I usually use like a DX7. If I want something like a Moog sound, I use my Juno X.
Okay, so what sound do you want today?
I want like a Moogie sound, the one that you use on Thriller.
You want a bass sound, like a Thriller bass kind of sound. Okay, so what do you think we would start with to do that? Where would you start? Would you start with a filter? Would you start with the envelope, the shape? Would you start with the oscillator, which is the pitch?
Start with the shape.
Start with the shape. Okay. So the shape is the envelope generator, and envelope generators have, on this instrument, 4 basic properties. Attack, which is how slow the sound comes into the picture. Decay, which is how long it takes to go away. Sustain, how long it takes to hold. And release, when I release the key, can you hear it? It goes away. So Alcee would like to create a bass sound like the Thriller bass sound. I would start with getting the pitch right, because we have to play with something that's probably down already, or it's going to be in a certain key, a vocal. So oscillators create pitch. And the ARP 2600, can you guys see it okay? You can't really see. Can you see the panel anywhere? That's good. I'm just trying to get you. Good. So you can see the panel. Okay, so there's how many oscillators? How many oscillators? Get onto the mic. How many oscillators do you see?
I see the three VCOs.
Okay, and then what kind of waveforms do you see on those oscillators?
I see the saw. I see a square, right?
Pulse wave, which can be turned into a square wave.
Okay. And then I can't remember the sine wave?
Sine wave, right? So we have 3 oscillators with different waveforms. So for Thriller bass, I started with a sawtooth waveform. I don't need to do this today. He's patching the sawtooth waveform. Where would you patch it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, well, we don't want it to be super bright. Like a raw sawtooth is going to be super bright. So we filter it, right? You know, right? You guys are together. You got to speak for him sometimes. Okay, patch it into the filter. So find the filter. Remember, audio paths go this way. So moving across from oscillators to filter. So you patch the inputs to the filter are on the bottom going in. Great. So we're patched in. So I'll do this. I'll open the filter. And there's a slider here in the mixer. So the filter's going to the mixer. Open the filter. Close the filter. Add resonance. And then open the filter again. Yeah, that's a good amount. Let's hear what that sounds like. Yeah, go for it. And then close the filter. So you're getting that kind of funky sound, right? Resonant bass filter. So instead of having to do it manually, right, we can use an envelope generator to trigger the VCF, which is the filter. So let's make a shape that looks like a bass, okay? Does a bass take a long time to come in?
No, it doesn't. So the attack is going to be low or completely off.
Yeah, so no attack, let's say. What about decay?
You don't want it to last too long, so you just want a little bit of decay so it holds out the note, but you don't want it to die down.
Great, do it. Bring that decay up. Keep going, oh, a little too, that's perfect. You're good. And then when you hold the note, we need to have some tone there. So we'll bring the sustain level up a little bit. So the decay is going to go down, and it's going to reach a sustain point right about there. That's good. Maybe a little less. And then let's say no release time. So now all we have to do is take a patch cord and modulate the filter with the envelope generator. So find the envelope generator. You just found it perfectly. Into the filter. So we have a sawtooth wave in the filter. Now you can modulate the filter with the envelope generator in the shape that you decided. So patch it right into the control input. Bring it up, and we'll just bring it up to right around there. And let's hear what you got so far. Ooh, it's starting to get bassy. Sounds pretty good. Okay, that's one oscillator. Let's double it. Another oscillator. Patch a pulse wave into the filter. We're almost there. It's really not that hard. Okay, pulse wave from VCO2, because we want a little bit of chorusing. We want a little bit of a different sound to double it. Ooh, that sounds good. Next, okay, I'm going to cheat this because I have to make a copy of this envelope generator. This is going to be a quick cheat. I made a copy of the envelope generator that's modulating the filter, and now he can modulate the pulse width of the second oscillator. So you found it, perfect. And a little bit of amount. A little bit amount, just very little, very little. Woo. Sounding good. And let's bring up the other oscillator. You're pretty close. So, one other thing. It's only going down, the bass. So we need a little more sustain. So, what I like to do is bring down the amount of modulation in the filter and bring up the filter frequency a little bit so you hear it. So there's like a bass level, a little more. Yeah, that's good, right around there. Now let's put a little less of this, but some of it, so we get some modulation. And play the notes and see what you got. As you're bringing it up, this is what I would do because I don't know exactly where to set these things. I'm gonna listen and bring it up. Yeah, that's it, that's the technique. And get a feel for the slider. This is my technique, and I like this technique because I can rock up and down on the slider. That's what I like to do. You want to rock? Alcee, give me that. Yeah, good. There you go. There you go. You feel that? And you can put pressure on the high and the low part of the slider and target, because it takes a lot of precision. There you go. So now, last thing, we're going to run it through a VCA so that it doesn't ring all the time. So filter. Once he does this a few times, he'll be able to do this in less than a minute. Come on.
You said where?
Into the VCA. Point to the VCA. Okay, remember, audio path is on top. This happens to all of us. Audio path on top, so tell me, stop when you get to the VCA. There it is. So inputs to the VCA are below, right? Audio input. Raise the slider of the audio input. Yep. All the way up. Because they like a lot of gain over here. Last patch chord. VCA to the mixer. Yeah, VCA. You know where it is now. To the mixer. Beautiful. Input to the mixer. You got it. Input's below. Raise it up. Give him some gas. Now let's hear it. Nothing. Why is there nothing? Okay, everything worked until here. So this is a common thing that's going to happen. Everything works. You've been hearing it all along, and then you do another patch, and then you don't hear anything. What are you going to do? Well, trace it backwards. That's what I do. So the mixer, you know, we heard signal before, so there's something coming in the mixer. But when you go back one step to the VCA, if I open the VCA, I hear it. But I need an envelope generator to open it so that when I play the key, it's going to be gated. So let's take one more. I lied. One more patch chord. A lot of these are normal on the 2600, which means you don't have to patch it. But I'm having him patch it because that's how you ingrain it in your head. It's like writing out stuff before you know, if you have to memorize it. So let's use this envelope generator. We have one more envelope generator to open the VCA into the input of the VCA and then push that all the way up. And then let's switch the output to the VCA into the mixer, and you're good to go. Okay, let's see where we are. You know the line? Try it. Okay, too bright. It's too bright. So I'm going to pull it down a little there and a little down there. I'm just going what I think it needs to be, because I think you can get these sounds without having to just constantly demo it, right? Try it again.
So what was the line?
The line is... That's okay. So how close are we? What do you hear that's not right?
It's still too watery.
Too watery, too bright, right? So I'm going to let the filter not get brighter as we go up. The filter's getting brighter as we go up. So I'm going to just stick a cable in here and disable the keyboard control voltage so it doesn't get brighter. Now try it. Oh, it's getting better, right? One cable. One cable. That's the right cable. Important. But it's knowing like what you're hearing first, right? Hearing it. Let me try it.
I don't know if I can tell you.
Okay. It's a little too hard hitting, so I'm backing off on the release. Let's try a little more. These notes. So da 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 da. Try that. There you go. There you go. Let's see what we got. There you go. Alcee. Okay, so it's a rough thriller bass made by Alcee. Do you think you could understand that next time you go about it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you 15 seconds to tell me. No, but this is for everyone, so we're not all wasting our time. Like, we're all going to live so long, right? What did we just learn here? In 15 seconds, if you learned one thing that you could take home, I'd take that. If I learned one thing a day about synthesis, I'd be an animal. What did you learn in 15 seconds? You got to hold the mic now and do this.
So I
Shout it out.
well, I learned how to actually get the sound because what I had a problem before is that I didn't even understand how to make the actual sound from the outputs of the VCOs. So I use Arteria a lot, so it's kind of easy, but to get the presets, but it's hard to understand how to actually patch stuff. So I like that you taught me how to actually patch it from start to finish. Yeah.
You think you could recreate this closer now on your Arturia?
Yeah, probably.
Great. Go home and practice it every day for a week and see if you could get it down to close to maybe 3 minutes. And it's the idea is that if you start with one sound and you really learn how to do one sound down to a minute, now you know the process of how to get any sound going better, right? It's like you use one as an example to do it. So I would start there, and then next time pick another sound that you want to make, helicopter, I don't know, whatever inspires you, and then get one part of it. Like you don't have to get the whole thing or get discouraged or anything. Helicopter, I'd just be like, I'm close, right? And then I'm going to go, oh, there's like a tone in the helicopter. So it's like, I'm going to show you how you go from a thriller bass to a helicopter in what? How much time do I need? But I had to practice this, like doing. You can go back to your beautiful mate. I had to practice it, and I wanted to make a living doing it. So the reason I could do it fast is because I practiced it. It's as simple as that. Okay, what do you guys? Is there anything else I can do while I'm here? Okay, you do it. Whoever wants me to do it has to come up and do it. Yeah, you can come up and mess around with it. Have you ever played an ARP 2600? That's even better. We should clap for that. I mean, because it's not that easy to come up. It's a NAMM show. This is a really hard place. You're in front of your peers here at the NAMM show, right? Okay, this is something you're allowed to do. Really carefully. Don't hurt it, but just pull all the cords out. Like grab a handful like this and lightly pull the cords out. Ryan, don't worry. This is Ryan Hawkins' 2600 that he brought here especially for us to do this. So please, Ryan, thank you, because without the 2600, it would be all talk. And that would suck. Okay. You know what? I've got to do one. I want you to stay here with me. One important moment. This is brought to you by the Alan R. Pearlman Foundation. The man that designed this, invented it, and brought it to market and figured out how to make it be a product for all of us, and then put enough love into it to make a musical instrument out of it. And I want Dina to come up for a minute and just tell you something quickly about the foundation, and then Daniel. is going to take a dive at it, and you guys are going to tell him what sound you want him to make. We'll do it fast, too. It'll be fast. You can get back to the show. Dina Pearlman, the wonderful daughter of Eleanor Pearlman.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. What's that?
Loud.
Loud. Can you all hear me? Too loud? All right, excellent. I have my Brooklyn voice on. I'm hoping that works anyway. So first of all, I want to thank Athen. I want to thank Brian. I want to thank Anthony. And I want to thank everyone for coming. Dante, this is fantastic. My dad made these wonderful synthesizers. I grew up with them as well in a different fashion, but I grew up with these. And one of the things that I've never gotten over is the sense of wonder when you start to make music out of this little kind of daunting instrument, right? But once you get to know it, it makes so much sense. My father was all about education. He was about ergonomics. He was about having it be all at your fingertips in a way that could easily be switch around, so making a pad should be easy. Once you learn it, once you get your way around it, you're going to be able to have a whole universe in front of you. So we are here to help make sure that emerging musicians, entrepreneurs, and engineers get a chance to learn how to not only use them, but make projects and sounds. We have a lot of projects that are ongoing. Come to our booth, which is right over there, 9800. We are happy to help you make some patches if you're a little bit shy about coming up here. We have a lot of interesting programs, information for you, and you can win a 2600M by putting your name in a drawing. All right. So Korg has wonderfully, thoughtfully remade several of the ARP instruments, including an ARP 2600. We have a mini version. It is here for a drawing. So come by, say hello, put your name in the hat, and maybe you will walk out of NAMM today, or Sunday at 4, with one of these babies. And that's it. Thanks again so much.
Thank you. I hope you can get over to the booth to support this great cause and win that 2600M that Korg donated. Daniel, what do you want to do?
I have no clue. Okay, yeah, I've never touched one of these in my life. And I'm not really familiar with synthesizers in general. But I play guitar, and I like making weird sounds with my guitar that aren't like guitar sounds. So
weird sounds, like throw some faders up. I mean, I'll just make sure this one's up because it's audio, but let's see what happens. Here's some chords. I mean, throw some faders up and just see what happens. I'm going to give you a minute, though, to do it, and we'll see if anything happens, and then we'll look at what it was. Because, maybe it's okay to not know, too, what you want to do. Woo. Some noise. See, let me show you something real fast.
yeah.
You already have wind.
Okay.
Look. Move it. He's making wind. So that's his first sound. Now move it down so it stops. All right. Now, what else? He made his first sound in less than a minute. So, does that give you confidence?
Yeah, for sure.
Was it fun or boring?
No, it's fun because now I know how to make wind. And not only that, but I could chop my wind up.
And this is a great example of creativity because he doesn't really know what the hell he's doing, but he's trying things. And you know what? That's better sometimes than somebody that thinks they know what they're doing and just kind of stays there.
Awesome.
So let me try something and then let you run with it. This is another way to go. I don't know. Is that loud enough, or is it too loud? Or just right? Just right. Daniel's on it. Daniel is climbing up the ladder. So everyone, this is a first time experience on an analog synthesizer, a vintage classic analog synthesizer. And he's having fun in the first, how long are we in here? Like 3 minutes? Somewhere like there? Woo! See, he could lock this up to a drum beat. Nice fade. There's a hint for tempo change. You know what I like to do sometimes? I'm not going to go Keith Emerson. All right. Daniel, thank you for coming up.
Thank you so much, Mark.
I hope you really continue to be brave and experiment, because those people will go far.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Take it. All right, well, what is it?
What's a sound that took you a long time to figure out?
What song took me a long time to figure out? Let me think. Well, I mean, Helicopters, it didn't take me a long time, but I had an opportunity to help because I was pretty young. I didn't have one. So it took me a long time to figure out how to make Helicopters, and I had an opportunity on the movie Apocalypse Now that was out in 1978, right? And I helped the guys that were doing it. And the reason I was doing it is because the Nagras, which are the analog tape, reel-to-reel tapes, couldn't record the low-frequency bass of the helicopter without distorting at the levels that Francis Ford Coppola wanted. So we used the ARP 2600. You know, I'm not going to overdo it, but just so you can see, we could generate really low frequency. Is that too loud? Right? And if I chop it, like where you're in a Huey and it's just chopping away at you like this. So that was the starting point, and then I thought, well, I could do better than that, and then I decided to make the tail rotor, and then, you know, all this stuff. But I'm a music person, but I started realizing, and probably this is the best takeaway to end with, it's all sound, and it's all on a continuum that goes into color and whatever. So just listen. Dr. Mix, Claudio Pasavante, and the reason I just said the word listen, because this guy listens. He really listens, and he's fun to play. Like when you play with other musicians, it's the most important thing. I think listening to your friends, listening to people that you're interested in emulating, and listening to I'll end here, listening to yourself, and follow your heart and listen to yourself, and take it as far as you believe.
That's a mic drop. Anthony Marinelli, thank you so much.
Throw the mic.
That was awesome.
Thank you,
a
everyone,
wonderful
for staying.
teacher.
Appreciate it a lot.
Great.